So this is something that I feel deserves its own video, instead of just a short segment. If you followed me for a while, you will know that I love to give my photos that soft, atmospheric look as seen on my Instagram, and in some of the photos that you see on screen right now. And if you want to incorporate some of these effects into your own photos, then today you're in luck. Why? Well, today I'm finally going to be releasing a free PSD document which will let you easily create this atmospheric motivated lighting, and will also let you customize it to your liking. So let's show you how it works. So when we open up the PSD document, this is what you are going to see. Now for this example, we are going to use this image of Stonehenge. The first thing we want to do is copy our photo to our PSD document, which is what we do right now. We can then drag this image below the replace with photo text, which we can now delete because it is no longer needed. We can now take a look at the layers that we have. So if we go ahead and open our atmospheric lighting, we can see that we have atmospheric particles and our rays. Now these are the two sections in this PSD document that we can edit individually. We have our fine particles and our large particles. The way you edit these large and fine particles are exactly the same. You then want to come up to this icon and change to a slightly smaller brush. The reason for this is because we're going to paint some hotspots on these rocks over here. Now these hotspots are essentially where the sunlight would actually hit. I'm also going to do this very quickly, but you can take your time on this stage. We then want to go into the filter tab to select the blur drop down menu, and then inside this menu we then want to select motion blur. After doing this, I then want to go over to our layers panel and duplicate our temporary rays about 4 or 5 times. The reason for this is because when we add motion blur to our temporary rays, the opacity drops significantly. So by duplicating these temporary rays about 4 or 5 times and then merging them together, we get the opacity of these temporary rays back up to the point to where we can create a successful selection of these temporary rays. With these rays selected, we then want to go to the mask option at the bottom of the layers panel. Now this is important, because what we want to do is drag and drop this newly created layer mask down onto our atmospheric layer, as shown here. Now what will happen next is this little box will pop up asking if you want to replace this layer mask, and you'll select yes. Let's go down to our ray layer. This is where we can change the colour and the texture of our rays. If we move over to this mask layer, this is where we get to the fun stuff. Because what this mask layer will allow us to do is change the actual texture of these rays. Let me demonstrate. With this layer mask selected, we are able to free transform this layer and move it around, thus changing the texture of our rays. So I've added this layer below our rays just to demonstrate this a little bit easier. And as explained earlier in the video, the rays and the atmospheric particles can be customized in exactly the same way. So let's take a look at the particles right now. By going into our large particles and selecting the same mask layer, we can then go up to the edit tab, transform and scale, exactly the same way we did with the rays. And if we zoom in here and start moving this layer around, you can see exactly what this is doing. Being able to easily customize not only the atmospheric particles but the rays individually was at the forefront of my mind when creating this atmospheric document. I wanted to make it super easy for you and anyone else that wanted to create this atmospheric lighting for their photos. That is not all though, because we can also customize the density of both the atmospheric particles and the rays, making the effect of either of these elements more or less pronounced. The customization here really is unlimited. The final thing that I need to mention is that when you have finished using this atmospheric document, it is important that you X out of this project. This will make sure that the next time you want to use this PSD document, everything will look exactly the same as the first time you opened it. So I hope this clears up a few things on how to actually use this PSD document. Now, after showing you all this, you might be wondering how you can get your hands on this free PSD file. And it's super simple. All you have to do is head over to my website, garrettmedia.com, and you will see this pop up prompting you to sign up to my email list. And I know, email list spamming, trust me. I'll be sending an email every 1 to 2 weeks, informing you of video uploads and any other information regarding the channel. So you definitely won't be spammed. When you sign up though, you'll be sent directly a welcome email that will include a link to the PSD file and a more in-depth video on how to use this document. If you don't see this pop up though, you can just scroll down to the bottom of my website to this section, or alternatively you can click the newsletter at the top of the website. With that said, I hope you all enjoy this quick little video. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification to be notified whenever I do upload another video, and yeah, download it and let me know what you think. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Did it work? I've got to get that clap to make the outro look epic. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I'll see you guys in the next one.